at 8 p.m. Here's the team news from Stamford Bridge for the Champions League semi-final second leg between Chelsea and Real Madrid. It's 1-1 from the first game, so all to play for at the Bridge. And Chelsea make just the one change from that first leg as Kai Havertz comes in for Christian Pulisic, fresh from scoring 2 goals in the win over Fulham at the weekend. The Chelsea side shows a few changes from that game with Mendy in goal, Rudiger, Thiago Silva and Christensen at the back, Chilwell, Jorginho, Conte and Azpilicueta in midfield, Mount, Havertz and Werner up front. On the bench are Balaga, Caballero, Alonso, Zuma, James, Emerson, Ziyech, Gilmour, Pulisic, Abraham, Giroud and Hudson-Odoi. The Real Madrid side shows a number of changes from the first game, with Sergio Ramos back to help out after the untimely injury to Rafael Varane. It's a straight swap in defence. Dani Carvajal also makes way for Eden Hazard, who gets a chance to start on his old stomping ground, and Ferland Mendy replaces Marcelo at left back. Ramos has recovered from a muscle injury though, and he makes his first club appearance since the second leg of their last 16 win against Atalanta back in March. Real Madrid line up Courtois, Militao, Ramos, Nacho, Mendy, Modric, Casemiro and Kroos, Hazard, Benzema, Vinicius. On the bench, Lunin, Altuve, Odriozola, Gutierrez, Isco, Valverde, Arribas, Blanco, Marcelo, Asensio, Diaz and Rodrigo. I'm underway at 8 p.m. Here's the team news from Stamford Bridge for the Champions League semi-final second leg between Chelsea and Real Madrid. It's 1-1 from the first game, so all to play for at the Bridge. And Chelsea make just the one change from that first leg as Kai Havertz comes in for Christian Pulisic, fresh from scoring 2 goals in the win over Fulham at the weekend. The Chelsea side shows a few changes from that game with Mendy in goal, Rudiger, Thiago Silva and Christensen at the back, Chilwell, Jorginho, Conte and Azpilicueta in midfield, Mount, Havertz and Werner up front. On the bench are Balaga, Caballero, Alonso, Zuma, James, Emerson, Ziyech, Gilmour, Pulisic, Abraham, Giroud and Hudson-Odoi. The Real Madrid side shows a number of changes from the first game, with Sergio Ramos back to help out after the untimely injury to Rafael Varane. It's a straight swap in defence. Dani Carvajal also makes way for Eden Hazard, who gets a chance to start on his old stomping ground, and Ferland Mendy replaces Marcelo at left back. Ramos has recovered from a muscle injury though, and he makes his first club appearance since the second leg of their last 16 win against Atalanta back in March. Real Madrid line up Courtois, Militao, Ramos, Nacho, Mendy, Modric, Casemiro and Kroos, Hazard, Benzema, Vinicius. On the bench, Lunin, Altuve, Odriozola, Gutierrez, Isco, Valverde, Arribas, Blanco, Marcelo, Asensio, Diaz and Rodrigo. I'm underway at 8 p.m. Here's the team news from Stamford Bridge for the Champions League semi-final second leg between Chelsea and Real Madrid. It's 1-1 from the first game, so all to play for at the Bridge. And Chelsea make just the one change from that first leg as Kai Havertz comes in for Christian Pulisic, fresh from scoring 2 goals in the win over Fulham at the weekend. The Chelsea side shows a few changes from that game with Mendy in goal, Rudiger, Thiago Silva and Christensen at the back, Chilwell, Jorginho, Conte and Azpilicueta in midfield, Mount, Havertz and Werner up front. On the bench are Balaga, Caballero, Alonso, Zuma, James, Emerson, Ziyech, Gilmour, Pulisic, Abraham, Giroud and Hudson-Odoi. The Real Madrid side shows a number of changes from the first game, with Sergio Ramos back to help out after the untimely injury to Rafael Varane. It's a straight swap in defence. Dani Carvajal also makes way for Eden Hazard, who gets a chance to start on his old stomping ground, and Ferland Mendy replaces Marcelo at left back. Ramos has recovered from a muscle injury though, and he makes his first club appearance since the second leg of their last 16 win against Atalanta back in March. Real Madrid line up Courtois, Militao, Ramos, Nacho, Mendy, Modric, Casemiro and Kroos, Hazard, Benzema, Vinicius. On the bench, Lunin, Altuve, Odriozola, Gutierrez, Isco, Valverde, Arribas, Blanco, Marcelo, Asensio, Diaz and Rodrigo. I'm underway at 8 p.m. Here's the team news from Stamford Bridge for the Champions League semi-final second leg between Chelsea and Real Madrid. It's 1-1 from the first game, so all to play for at the Bridge. And Chelsea make just the one change from that first leg as Kai Havertz comes in for Christian Pulisic, fresh from scoring 2 goals in the win over Fulham at the weekend. The Chelsea side shows a few changes from that game with Mendy in goal, Rudiger, Thiago Silva and Christensen at the back, Chilwell, Jorginho, Conte and Azpilicueta in midfield, Mount, Havertz and Werner up front. On the bench are Balaga, Caballero, Alonso, Zuma, James, Emerson, Ziyech, Gilmour, Pulisic, Abraham, Giroud and Hudson-Odoi. The Real Madrid side shows a number of changes from the first game, with Sergio Ramos back to help out after the untimely injury to Rafael Varane. It's a straight swap in. Well, very warm welcome along to Off-Tube studio-based commentary then on this Champions League clash. We're about to get underway at Stamford Bridge. It's been a cold, snowy even May evening for this one. The side locked at 1 apiece, of course, following the first leg in Madrid at the Alfredo Di Stefano Stadium last week. Karim Benzema's equaliser bringing Real some parity, but still you would think the advantage is with the Blues. Thomas Tuchel's side possess a pretty handy record against Real Madrid in European competitions, failing to lose any of their 4 previous encounters. However, a score draw better than 1 apiece would see Real go through on away goals this evening, so they might still have to win this one. And we're underway. Real Madrid in their home colours, if you like, of all white, but with black socks tonight, kicking in the first half from left to right, put a long ball forward in the direction of Karim Benzema, their first leg ace. The ball drops into midfield now, where they knock it back to the skipper, Sergio Ramos. The referee has spotted some kind of infringement, though, over to the far side. He actually now motions over to the near side towards one of his officials. I think maybe the ball might need replacing here. No. The ball has been thrown in and then passed back to possibly 2 balls on the pitch out of shot. There was the issue. Anyway, we're back underway. Eder Militao, a little bit clumsy in possession, knocks it out wide here to his right back, which is, in fact, it was Vinicius Junior all the way back helping out in defence before he plays it back to Thibaut Courtois. So like I say, Real Madrid in the first half going from left to right. Chelsea are attacking the shed end in the first half. Timo Werner and Kai Havertz the furthest forward in Thomas Tuchel's formation, as Militao plays it forward and gets it again, right hand side, trying to chip it forward rather clumsily again, skewing it off the outside of his boot, and it won't find its intended target. Goes out for a throw-in to the Blues. They drew 1 apiece, of course, with Fulham at the weekend. Antonio Rudiger sporting the scars of that clash with his face in, he's got a face mask on to protect an injury that he picked up there, but he is fit to play. As Chelsea played it around the back again now. And Rudiger down the line to Ben Chilwell. Back to the German. And then Thiago Silva, who's at the base of that 3-man central defensive partnership or combination for Chelsea. Long ball forward in the direction of Werner, is cut out by Ramos. And then Militao is sent tumbling to the ground by Mason Mount's challenge. The referee saw nothing wrong with that, though, and so it's a throw into Chelsea instead. Mount plays it back to Chilwell. Chelsea trying to get the tempo going here inside the first couple of minutes. Rudiger again stands on the ball and waits for a Real Madrid player to come and engage him, but nobody comes. He plays it over the top now, looking for the run here of Timo Werner. Arms go up for offside against the German, and the flag is raised on the far side by one of the Italian officiating team tonight. Referee is Daniele Orsato, our experienced Champions League referee. Just looking at the replay on that offside decision, Werner was just a fraction of a yard offside. Real Madrid playing it around the back again. Casemiro's dropped in between the 2 central defenders as Thibaut Courtois passes out to Sergio Ramos, playing his first match since that Champions League round of 16 clash with Atalanta back in mid-March. So he's had some time off, about a month and a half away from the game, convalescing from injury, but you know that when Sergio Ramos puts on that white shirt, he is ready to play, and he comes in for the injured Rafael Varane tonight for Real Madrid. They've still got the ball at the back. Casemiro playing a little wall pass with Hazard in midfield, then knocks it wide to the right here for Vinicius Junior. He's got 2 Chelsea players for company, knocks it back again. It goes out wide to the right hand side. Militao lost though by Real Madrid. Militao blocks an attempted pass from Chilwell, and it goes out off him for a Chelsea throw in front of Zinedine Zidane, the experienced Real Madrid boss. Of course, multiple Champions League winner as both a coach and a player. Zidane actually looking to secure his 4th progression to from a Champions League semi-final, and that would equal a record for the most semi-final progressions by any manager in the competition's history. He's currently tied with Sir Alex Ferguson, Carlo Ancelotti, of course once of this parish, and Marcelo Lippi. Foul on the far side by the look of things. The referee's given it Chelsea's way, though. There was a collision between Toni Kroos and one of the Chelsea defenders, possibly Cesar Azpilicueta, and it was a foul. It was by N'Golo Conte on Kroos, so not sure what the referee's given there. Earlier on, Eden Hazard was chopped down from behind by Andreas Christensen, so there's a few meaty challenges coming in from the Chelsea players right now. My apologies, the referee did give the free kick to Real Madrid. and maybe a word in N'Golo Kanté's ear as well for that. So an early Real Madrid free kick. It's out on the left-hand side, only a couple of yards in from the touchline, but a chance to get the cross in. It goes into the penalty area, headed clear by Christensen, and then flicked on by Chelsea, trying to just release Werner's pace, but Real Madrid have this one covered. Vinicius Junior is all the way back there again. He actually might be playing right wing-back tonight, Vinicius Junior, the way things have started out. So this could be a little tactical wrinkle from Zidane to try and outfox Tuchel, who's as wily as they come. And Real Madrid have it again, coming through midfield. Luka Modric outside the boot, looking for the run here of Hazard in the channel. Hazard trying to use his strength there up against the defender and wins a throw in off Thiago Silva. Former PSG defender. No nonsense defending from him there. Knocked it straight out for a throw. Real Madrid take it quickly. And Ferland Mendy's going in the wrong direction here, going back towards his own half, but he finds a teammate in Ramos, who finds Militao on the halfway line. Now into Chelsea territory. Wide it goes to Vinicius Junior. He's definitely lined up as an orthodox right wing back, the Brazilian. Knocks it infield to Modric. Gets it back from the Croatian. Vinicius again, trying to make something happen on the right, but goes back to Militao, his fellow countryman. Back to Modric again. Wide on the right, and then Militao again. He's got no option forward, has to pass it back, and it goes all the way to the former Chelsea keeper Thibaut Courtois. Happy to report that none of the starting 11s from this match from either team would miss the final if they were yellow carded tonight in the second leg. That would be a travesty, really, wouldn't it? Players getting one booking in this game and miss arguably the best, most exciting match of their careers for some of them. Maybe not so much for some of the Real Madrid players who are vastly experienced at this level. And there's a foul on Nacho on the far side now, and a bit of rolling round from the Spaniard, which might see the first yellow card. It was Kai Havertz who caught him, and caught him quite high actually on his shin, so I wouldn't argue if the referee did issue a yellow card for that foul. We're very early on in the game though. He may be a bit reluctant to do so, but it will be a free kick to Real Madrid inside their own half. Nacho holding his leg after that collision. I think he got his toe stood on as well, so double pain for Nacho. He's back on his feet now, and it looks like Kroos is going to take the free kick. Chelsea 0, Real Madrid 0. And ball's played back to Thibaut Courtois once more in the Real Madrid goal. I think I said earlier that Chelsea drew with Fulham. Of course they didn't. It was 2-0 win for Chelsea at the weekend. Antonio Rudiger actually missed that game. And he's come back into the team tonight, having picked up the injury in Madrid. Real Madrid comfortably coming out of defence now with Casemiro. Goes back to Courtois again though, reluctant to play that forward pass, trying to break the lines. Casemiro. Alongside him now is Modric, so the two central midfielders very deep for Real Madrid. Looks like quite a fluid formation that Zidane set his team up in today, with the central defenders often splitting very wide and giving room for the central midfielders to come back and play in between them. So this might just catch out Chelsea in the early stages. Tuchel, I'm sure, will react to it as Hazard tries a little back flick, or Benzema rather tries a back flick that comes off Azpilicueta and goes out for a Real Madrid throw. Real know they need to score tonight. A 0-0 scoreline would see Chelsea go through on the away goal that they scored last week. That Christian Pulisic effort. He's actually not in the team tonight, on the bench, the American, but I think could be used as an impact player by Thomas Tuchel. Again, it's back with Thibaut Courtois. And the Belgian rolls it out now to Ramos. Here's Militao in a bit of space on the right. Just goes back to his captain again. Out to the left they go with Hazard linking up play with Ferland Mendy again, forced to play it backwards, but it's a nice ball which is well controlled by Ramos. Militao, the former Porto man on this right, turns inside away from Mount, knocks it square to Modric. Modric patrolling the halfway line, finds Kroos a little bit deeper. Then he invites a run here forward from Mendy. Mendy off that left touch line, linking up with Hazard. Hazard burrowing away to try and get something going for Real Madrid. They haven't tested Edouard Mendy yet. Two Mendys on the pitch, of course. One for Real Madrid, one for Chelsea tonight. As the ball's almost given away there by Real Madrid on the halfway line, but recovered by Modric. And now Militao wide to Vinicius. Vinicius trying to take on Chilwell, using his pace and his trickery well, moves it inside. Casemiro back to Modric, on to Kroos. In fact, this is Benzema, edge of the box now on his right foot, turns it back to Hazard. Hazard linking up with Benzema again, now Kroos from deep. Thought about the cross, played it square instead. Good build-up this from Real Madrid, they're into the Chelsea half. Militao again looks gangly when he's in possession, but he manages to get it back to Modric, who turns away well from Werner and sprays it out to the left-hand side. Mendy heads it back infield to Kroos. This is a bit of a lesson that Chelsea are getting here from Real Madrid, and calm possession and passing inside the opponent's half. They've still got it here. They've played it for about 25 passes, maybe more, as Modric again knocks it square to Kroos. Kroos opening up for a shot here, goes from 25 yards out, powerfully along the ground, easily scooped up by Mendy at the near post, but the warning is there. We've played about 10 minutes of this game, and Chelsea have only had the ball for about 60 seconds of it. It's been all Real Madrid, and they're beginning to get some end product going as well. That was a shot from range from Kroos, which needed saving by Edouard Mendy, but the keeper was equal to it. Here come Chelsea again. Conte up towards Werner. He tries a turn there on the Real Madrid defender, but Nacho deals with it nicely, knocks it back to Courtois. He plays a first-time ball into midfield for Casemiro. Now Kroos to Modric once more. They're tight, that midfield trio of Real Madrid. Not too much space between any of them, staying closely knit in that area as Ramos finds Militao. He seems to be playing almost as an orthodox right back, but he has got Vinicius up ahead of him. Again, Real Madrid move it through midfield. Then it's lost there briefly by, I think that was Casemiro, but he's won it back. Now it's laid off square to Mendy. Down the line to Benzema. He's got no real option. Plays it back and it's gone straight to Werner. Chance on the counter-attack for Chelsea now. It's 3-on-3. Werner, he's got option towards the right-hand side. It's Havertz, but he's been driven wide towards a corner flag. Havertz keeps it in and waits for the cavalry to arrive. Finds Conte on the edge of the box, but they've gone backwards now, Chelsea. Jorginho gets his first touch of the match, I think, about 11 and a half minutes in. And a long-range shot from Conte. Oh, it's a brilliant save from Courtois. That swerved in the air. A long-range strike. I think it was Rudiger, actually, who hit it from fully 30 yards, and it swerved in the air, but Courtois pushes it away. So Chelsea do test Courtois, and they come again here with Mount out wide to Chilwell. Chilwell by the edge of the penalty area, back to Mount. Into the box he goes. Mount trying to dance his way around defenders, gets to the byline, crosses low into the near post, and again Courtois had to be alert to it to kick it away. Chelsea come alive after really Real Madrid dominated the first 10 minutes, and they've had two efforts now. The first from Rudiger was a swerving effort which the keeper had to push away. The second, he used his feet to turn away an attempted cutback from the edge of the 6-yard box by Mason Mount. And Chelsea have a throw-in down by the corner flag, which Chilwell gets back and now tries to advance. He goes down looking for a free kick, and he got it. Foul on Ben Chilwell by Casemiro, and a free kick to the English club. Chelsea have very rarely lost a two-legged European tie when they've avoided defeat in the first leg, but the last time they did so was a matter of 7 or 8 years ago in the Champions League against Atletico Madrid. That was the year, of course, Atletico made the final only to lose to Real Madrid in extra time, a Gareth Bale special. Going to be a free kick now to Chelsea, though. 12, nearly 13 minutes gone. Over from the left-hand side. Two options for Chelsea. Mount and Chilwell stand over it. Two-man wall placed there by Courtois. The referee's just doing a bit of administration in the penalty area to make sure there's no jostling between the two sets of players for this cross from Chilwell towards the back post, headed away by Casemiro. Drops on the edge for Chelsea and Azpilicueta. The captain knocks it back here to Jorginho. He'll put a cross in out towards the middle of the centre of the penalty area. Knocked away by Real Madrid. They've got a counter on here, and Hazard is brought down. That could be a first yellow card of the game. Hazard turned away quickly from the Chelsea marker Jorginho, and he gets the first booking of the match. Hazard very clever in his ability to turn there, and rightly so. The referee waited 15 minutes or so before issuing the first yellow card. About a quarter of an hour gone at Stamford Bridge, where it's Chelsea 0, Real Madrid 0. Real Madrid dominating the first 10 minutes, but Chelsea have come alive. Only one shot from Real Madrid in that period of dominance. It was a long-range strike from Kroos, but Antonio Rudiger almost broke the deadlock from fully 30 yards with a swerving effort, which Courtois had to palm away. And as Chelsea kept the pressure on, the keeper was again involved trying to kick away a Mason Mount cross. We've just seen the first yellow card of the match as well, after Eden Hazard was fouled inside the Real Madrid half by Jorginho. The referee's patience tested, and Jorginho is the first name in his book. It remains Chelsea 0, Real Madrid 0. And that is, like I say, about 15 minutes into this game. It's been tense, but there's been some good football played. It's not been as cagey as possibly one or two had suggested prior to the game. Expecting it to be maybe a bit cagey in the first game with those two early goals, first half goals, and then it went sort of quiet in the second half, didn't it, in Madrid? Karim Benzema's finish, though, real fine one, illuminating that first leg. So Chelsea again on the attack, left-hand side of the penalty area, as Militao tries to get a foot in and stop the progress, and then rattles into a challenge, wins the ball, gives it away to Chilwell, comes back here to Jorginho, 30 yards out. He finds a square ball to Mason Mount. In fact, it's Havertz who's actually trying to run down that right-hand channel. He lays it off to Azpilicueta. It goes back to Christensen, and Jorginho again finds the Dane. Christensen switches the point of attack out towards Rudiger, who's inside the Real Madrid half. He comes on forward again. He shot from there last time. This side it goes wide to Chilwell. Back inside the penalty area for Werner. Werner trying to cross low into the 6-yard box. Is knocked away by Real Madrid. There was an infringement in there, a push on a Real Madrid defender, Nacho, which will give the visitors the free kick. So nice build-up play again from Chelsea. Down the left, Chilwell involved. Werner getting the cross in, but unfortunately for Chelsea, nobody able to beat Nacho to the ball fairly anyway. Havertz actually shoved him after the defender cleared. But promising start to this game for Chelsea, who have tested Courtois twice already, once with his hands, once with his feet. Ramos now spreads the play out towards the left-hand side, and it's Nacho towards the halfway line. Mendy takes it again. He's facing with back to goal, or facing his own goal really, so hasn't got an option to play it forward, so they go back towards Courtois. Ramos subtly outside the ball, outside boot ball to Militao, then to Modric. Modric uses the outside of his boot to find Kroos on the halfway line. The German chugs into the Chelsea half. Conte for company, goes wide to Mendy. That's a nice ball to Modric, 25 yards out, looking to test the keeper with a right-footed drive, and it's straight at Mendy again, who again scoops it up just inside his 6-yard box. 2 efforts on target so far for Real Madrid. This one again lacking the venom of Kroos' effort, and straight at Mendy from Luka Modric, once of Tottenham, of course. I'd have enjoyed one or two victories against Chelsea, although possibly Chelsea had a bit of dominance over Tottenham during Modric's days in the lily white of Spurs. Chelsea have it again. Conte finding a similar teammate as a ball into the far post, and it's been finished off by Timo Werner. But is he offside? Judging by his reaction, he is. That will not count. Quick counter-attack from Chelsea. Conte got it out wide here to Chilwell. Chilwell's low cross finished off by Werner, but he's just a fraction offside. The flag went up. And we see again, Werner, half a yard offside with a nice finish on the penalty spot. Nothing wrong with the finish, but just couldn't hold his run, and it remains 0-0. Thomas Tuchel was almost about to celebrate there, but Werner, as he began his celebration, saw the linesman's flag upraised, and it remains as we were, 0-0. 18 minutes gone. Bit of a scare there for Real, though. They gave the ball away in midfield, and 2 or 3 passes later, Chelsea were right at them in the penalty area. It's played forward by Nacho, but goes off a deflection for a Real Madrid throw now. Zidane getting some instructions out to his side. The former Real Madrid, Juventus and Bordeaux midfielder. Ball played back to Courtois. And now we've got Eder Militao swapping passes with Modric and charging forward down the right-hand side. He's got Vinicius just to the right of him. Vinicius goes back looking for Eder, but he didn't carry on his run. Hazard will try and keep Thiago Silva honest, but Chelsea have worked it away from that penalty area now towards Conte on the edge of the box. He sweeps it wide. It's a tough pass for Azpilicueta to take, and a mistake from the Frenchman has put Chelsea right back under the pump. It's gone straight out for a throw into Real Madrid, and they've taken it quickly. So they're keeping the tempo high, but they're passing the ball backwards a lot. This one goes all the way to Courtois, who's all in orange tonight, the big Belgian, once of Racing Genk. Back to Ramos once more, formerly of Sevilla. And Real Madrid will start again. But Nacho has to go back to his keeper, Havertz. Short ball from the goalkeeper back to Ramos, who's hardly broken sweat so far. Long ball forward from Nacho, looking for the run of Benzema. In fact, it was Hazard who was closest to it. And it's headed away by Thiago Silva for a Real Madrid throw. Close to the edge of the Chelsea box. But nothing comes of it, and Chelsea have the next opportunity to throw the ball in as we hit 20 minutes in this Champions League semi-final second leg. Winners to play Manchester City, of course, first-time qualifiers for the Champions League final after their victory over Paris Saint-Germain over 2 legs, and of course over the 90 minutes yesterday by 2-0 4-1 on aggregate for Pep Guardiola's team, and they'll be a formidable opponent for either of these in that final in Istanbul at the end of May. As it's played back in field to Modric, back to Vinicius. Vinicius knocks it to Ramos, and he finds Nacho. There's a bit of room here for him to advance for the defender, and he works it wide to Mendy. Then back to Kroos, 30 yards out. Nice ball along the ground is seized upon by Chilwell, but given away to Militao. Chance here for Real Madrid, ball into the penalty area, looking for Vinicius, but quickly sliding in with the challenge. Rudiger knocks it away. The man in the mask was perfectly positioned there to mop up after the Chilwell loose touch, which initially looked like a mistake from Kroos. Actually, his pass was seized upon by Chilwell, but a poor touch gave it straight away back to Militao. Then one pass later, they were looking for Vinicius in the box, but Rudiger covered well, and it goes out for a throw, which Militao takes. Vinicius back to goal, holding off Chilwell, tries to get the cross in. The player goes down for Real Madrid, wanting a free kick. Referee says no. Real have it anyway with Modric. Corner of the penalty area, trying to work some room for a cross. Puts it in low. Volleyed away by Thiago Silva and out for a throw to Real Madrid. Level with the edge of the Chelsea penalty area. So the pressure is still on. Thiago Silva, veteran presence in this Chelsea back line. And you can just see him talking and sort of almost talking his younger teammates through the game, but Real Madrid have it again. This time they've gone back to the halfway line with Kroos, and Casemiro, the industrious Brazilian, works it to Modric in about 10 yards of space, then wide to Vinicius. He's got the defender touch tight to him, plays in the penalty area for Hazard. Hazard turns, as he can do, trying to find a teammate, and Vinicius once more. Vinicius trying to sit the defender down and crosses to the far post, looking for Benzema, goes down. The referee says goal kick. Benzema was between 2 Chelsea defenders. They had him fairly well marshalled there between I think it was Christensen and Azpilicueta, and Benzema had no play on that ball as it was crossed in towards him by Vinicius, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Real Madrid looking to make yet another Champions League final or European Cup final, the most illustrious team in European competition. They could seal a place in the 17th Champions League or European Cup final tonight. The current total of 16 already, many more than any other team. And like I say, it would be Zidane's 4th Champions League final as manager, and his record in those previous 3 mightily impressive. Of course, beating Liverpool famously, didn't they, a few years ago when that game was played in Kiev. Liverpool, of course, won it the year after against Tottenham Hotspur in Madrid, of all places. Here are Real Madrid as they go back to Casemiro and then back to Militao. We've reached the midpoint of the first half, and it remains goalless in the second leg. 1 apiece on aggregate. Chelsea still with that away goal advantage. And Thomas Tuchel looking pretty satisfied on the bench. Certainly Real Madrid's early tactical shock with the formation and the system they're playing seems to be something that Chelsea have got to grips with, and now they're looking to play on the counter-attack. Ramos slides a short ball into Casemiro, goes back to Thibaut Courtois. He then sends it out towards Nacho. First time ball up towards Benzema, taking a tumble on the halfway line. The referee sees the foul there by Christensen and gives Real Madrid the free kick. Kroos takes it quickly. Benzema plays it back. And then first time from Casemiro to Modric. Benzema again linking play on the halfway line. Wide to Vinicius. Goes for the return ball. Vinicius is got stuck in traffic though and has lost it there to Jorginho. He tries to play ball over the top and he's going to try and catch out the defender. Nacho did well, or Casemiro it was, who got back and made a good defensive header, and the danger is cleared for Real Madrid. Only momentarily though. Mendy's played it back to Casemiro, who's often between the central defenders, almost making like a third centre-back tonight. Casemiro, so deep is he at times, but they do get up the pitch as a unit, Real Madrid, and they have to when they're in possession. They've had a couple of long spells of possession so far. They're going to try and get another one now. Casemiro plays a long ball over the top. The Swans to try and release Vinicius, and his pace up against Chilwell. Vinicius gets there, but he's forced away from goal by the corner flag. Knocks it back to the supporting Hazard. Hazard now teases Rudiger, knocks it square to Modric, 30 yards out. And then outside the boot towards Benzema on the edge of the box. He's got Christensen for company. Shadow tight. He goes back towards Modric and then flicked backwards towards Kroos. Kroos on his right foot now. Plays it square to Modric again, 30 yards out. Chelsea are holding a line here on the edge of the penalty area, not allowing Real Madrid any further progress. Modric again knocks it square to Casemiro. He can shoot from here. Plays it shortly into Kroos. Kroos now a shot from Benzema on the turn. It's just gone wide from Karim Benzema. Chelsea stood off him for the first time there, really, and his strike had the venom, just not the direction to beat Edouard Mendy from 18 yards out. The keeper saved it, actually. Credit to Edouard Mendy. That is a fantastic save. It was about to nestle in the corner had he not got an outstretched left palm to it. Brilliant save from the former Rennes keeper, and it remains goalless. But that is the clearest sight of goal that either team's had, really, barring the disallowed strike from Timo Werner. Here's the corner from Real Madrid, played in towards the centre goal, headed away by Chelsea, and they'll get the rebound as well as Thiago Silva tries to lead the charge from the back. The Brazilian looks up, doesn't see any option he fancies, and plays it back into Azpilicueta's feet. And Real Madrid have got everybody behind the ball now. But the game's come alive in the last few minutes. The Werner goal that was disallowed at one end, and then the Benzema effort, brilliantly saved by Mendy to keep it scoreless. And it's a really intriguing tie that could go either way. The next goal, or the first goal in this match, the next goal in the tie, I'm sure will be very, very important. Real have actually had more attempts on target than Chelsea so far, 3-1 on both counts. As 26.5 minutes tick over and Chelsea in possession again with Thiago Silva at the back. Back it goes to Christensen. Then Conte, nice movement from him, laying it off, getting it back. Conte on the edge of the penalty area, playing a good ball here to Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz to chip the goalkeeper, and he's chipped it over the bar. He's chipped it against the bar. It's come back to Timo Werner, and he finishes off from 1 yard out, and Chelsea do have the lead. Well, it was all a bit confusing there because the effort initially came back off the crossbar, and I thought it went over the bar, but it landed virtually on the line, and Timo Werner was there to convert from close in to make it Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. The first goal of this semi-final second leg has gone the way of Thomas Tuchel's men, and that could be absolutely massive. Approaching half an hour gone at Stamford Bridge, and Chelsea have taken the lead in this Champions League semi-final second leg, and it's Timo Werner who scored from only a yard out. A simple header after initial effort from Kai Havertz had been chipped over the keeper and onto the crossbar. I thought it was going to go over the woodwork before it landed perfectly for the striker, following up Werner to head home from a yard out and give the Real Madrid defence no chance. Brilliant play from N'Golo Conte in the build-up, though. It was his turn in midfield that got the Real Madrid defence shuffling backwards, and he played a lovely ball out towards the left-hand side for Havertz. His first effort came back off the woodwork as he chipped the advancing Courtois, but Werner was there to make it Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and 2-1 to the Blues on aggregate. Yeah, that's 2-1, and it now means that, well, I suppose Real Madrid still have to score, don't they? They always knew they had to score tonight to avoid elimination, but now one goal doesn't put them through. One goal just gets them level and a chance at extra time. This match has to be opened up by Real Madrid, although it wasn't as if they were playing negatively anyway. But they have to be a bit more positive now, I would say, and get this opening goal. Get their opening goal of the second leg. As Chelsea again trying to pick it up on the halfway line, but it's fizzed into Benzema's feet. He turns and gets away from Christensen. Down the left it goes to Mendy. Back now to Luka Modric. And square to the halfway line where Nacho awaits. Then Sergio Ramos. They switch the point of attack to the right now with Eder Militao. Down the line to Vinicius, but won back by Chilwell. Snapping into the tackle, Militao knocks it away for a throw. Well, Timo Werner scored 4 goals in the Champions League this season in 11 matches. It's not been the most prolific campaign for him personally, but what a goal, and how important it will be to his team's season and to his potential Chelsea career with that simple 1-yard nod in on the line. Right place, right time. Timo Werner is the match winner at the moment, but I'm sure a lot will change in this game. As it's headed infield by Casemiro to Modric. Modric looks up, tries to deliver a killer pass. Nobody's made a move for him, so he goes wide to... Well, that's lovely play from Vinicius, looking to find Modric again, but the cover was there from Jorginho as Chilwell got completely done by Vinicius' dancing feet. Chilwell has it again and goes down the line. And it's given away by Werner this time to Casemiro. Real Madrid still coming at them, and they have it now with Hazard on the edge of the box. Wide to Ferland Mendy. He goes back to Kroos. Still Hazard has it. Mendy back to him. Hazard over the top looking for Mendy's run. Well tracked there by Christensen, who stops the ball and moves it out to the edge of the penalty area. Jorginho. He finds one of his teammates there, Thiago Silva, who slams the clearance away, but it's hard to control for Azpilicueta and comes back for a Real Madrid throw. They want to take it quickly. Fired in towards Kroos. Back now with Nacho. First time ball into Sergio Ramos, but they're back on the halfway line now. Real Madrid, they're very patient. They like to work the ball. They like to use their individual abilities in a team unit, but at the moment Chelsea's pressing and their quick counter-attacking is coming out on top in this duel. In the second leg, Nacho again finding Mendy on the halfway line. Quickly at him there was Werner to stop any progress, but they've worked it round him with a nice 1-2. Mendy now trying to take on N'Golo Conte. He's been brought down there. The referee saw no foul, and it's cleared by Chelsea up towards Havertz. Then, unfortunately for Chelsea, Casemiro just getting the better of Werner, and the ball has moved quickly via Hazard to Modric. Hazard, though, has lost it in a tackle with Rudiger, who battles through another one and tries to set up Werner, who's now working down the left-hand channel in towards Rudiger. The pass didn't have enough care and attention to find his German teammate, and Real Madrid get away with one there. The game's opening up, though, and Real Madrid are coming into the Chelsea half now. N'Golo Conte is the first shield. It's gone wide to Vinicius Junior, edge of the box, square ball. They're going to try and get a shot away now. Kroos out to the left for Ferland Mendy. Hazard makes a darting run to open up some space. It's gone to his feet. He lays it back eventually to Kroos. But Chelsea doing a good job of crowding out Hazard at the moment. Will he last the full 90 minutes tonight, the former Chelsea man? Militao looks up, delivers a cross towards the far post. Too much on it. Nothing for Benzema there. And his shoulders slump as the ball spins away for a throw-in rather than a header for him to equalise in this match. N'Golo Conte, though, Kai Havertz and Timo Werner, the 3 players involved in the Chelsea goal that's put the home side 1-0 up on the night and 2-1 to the good on aggregate on a cold May evening at Stamford Bridge in front of no spectators at all. But Chelsea fans the world over will be singing the praises of a man I'm sure they've come to possibly catcall at times this season for some of his misses, Timo Werner. I think even Thiago Silva's wife, or partner I should say, had a few harsh words of criticism for him in the first leg with his profligacy when Chelsea could have been out of sight in that first half. As Havertz is fouled in the Chelsea half by Casemiro and gives away a free kick. 33 minutes on the clock. Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Timo Werner's 4th Champions League goal of the season, separating the sides, and Chilwell is pushed up now on the left. He knocks it back to Rudiger. Chelsea in their familiar all-blue home colours, white socks, going in the first half from right to left, attacking the shed end. As Mason Mount, who's had a quiet evening so far, plays it back to Rudiger and then back to Mendy. Made a great save, didn't he, about 5-10 minutes ago to deny Benzema. It could have been a crucial first goal. Mendy, who's of course been drafted in this season to replace Kepa Arrizabalaga, who's on the bench. And I think by and large, I think all Chelsea fans have been pretty happy with his displays over the course of the season. Ball forward into the channel looking for Werner is mopped up by Nacho, and he's fouled, I think, there. The referee does give the free kick to Real Madrid this time. Foul by Havertz, and he's of course been booked, so he's got to be careful throwing his weight around. former Bayer Leverkusen player, was actually involved in the Europa League final stages this time last year with Bayer Leverkusen, as they went down in the semi-finals to Sevilla, didn't they, who were the eventual winners of that competition. Modric, nice ball out to the right hand side here, finds Vinicius up against Chilwell, driving him back towards the penalty area. Vinicius dances inside and then plays the ball to the edge of the box here for Kroos. Kroos took it well, moved it wide further towards the supporting Nacho, looks up, thinks about the cross, but then has the option of Mendy on the edge of the penalty area. Mendy comes in field, finds Nacho once more, wide it goes to Hazard. Kroos again, back to the Belgian, Eden Hazard, shuffling it inside to Modric. Modric now chipping into the penalty, looking for Benzema. Benzema with a header, brilliantly saved by Mendy again. Fantastic tip over from the keeper. He's having a brilliant game. The signing from Rennes is making a big impact in this game. Benzema heading it towards goal. It's actually too close to Mendy, but he had to get a strong right hand up after a brilliant left-handed save before. This is a right-handed save to tip it over the bar from Karim Benzema and keep it 1-0. It was on target from the Frenchman, but he found a formidable opponent in Edouard Mendy there on his line. Here comes the corner though for Real Madrid. They're pressing for an equaliser now. 10 minutes before half-time. It's played short to the edge of the penalty area for Mendy, then worked back to Modric. Chelsea still holding their line as it's worked to the right now for Vinicius. Vinicius goes into the penalty area. There's looking for a penalty here, Real Madrid, are they? There's a man gone down. There's actually a Chelsea player who's gone down, and I think there was a clash between Sergio Ramos and Azpilicueta that might result in a yellow card for the Real Madrid skipper now. Referee Orsato is explaining to him what the decision will be. It's a yellow card for Sergio Ramos. He shoved Azpilicueta over when he thought possibly the referee wasn't looking. Well, he actually swung an arm at him, and that, some might say, that could have been a straight red for him. He's let the temper boil over there, Sergio Ramos, but it is only a yellow for the Real Madrid skipper. Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. It ended that Real Madrid attack in its tracks, didn't it? Stopped it in its tracks there as Vinicius was about to put a cross in, and they had about 4 or 5 white shirts in the box to aim for. So he was a silly boy there, really. Most experienced player on the pitch in terms of Champions League games and Champions League wins. But he let his team down on that occasion. Chelsea knock it away now through Jorginho. One ball forward is volleyed away by an angry Ramos for a throw-in. And Zinedine Zidane watches on calmly as Chelsea take the time over the restart now. Real Madrid have had 66% possession in the game so far, 5 total attempts, 2 corners to Chelsea's 34% possession, 3 attempts and no corners so far, but Chelsea got the all-important statistic, the 1 goal so far, which came courtesy of Timo Werner's close-range header, following up a Kai Havertz effort that came back off the woodwork, and I think Thomas Tuchel will be pretty happy with his team selection if that's the case, with Havertz in for Pulisic tonight. Real Madrid come away with the ball. Conte mops it up and clears to the halfway line, but the referee spotted a foul in the Real half, which should give the Spaniards a free kick. It was a foul by Timo Werner. And his eagerness to win the ball, he followed through on... well, actually, to be fair, there wasn't much in that with Casemiro. 6 to 1, half a dozen the other, and the referee's given it Real Madrid's way. Now, Modric inside his own half, finding Casemiro, back to the Croatian. And then to Casemiro again, working a 1-2 with Mendy. Then spreading the ball out to the right, but there's been a foul again on the far side. And it's another yellow card for a Chelsea player. This time Andreas Christensen, the recipient, for a late challenge on Ferland Mendy. Yeah, and it was nasty looking at the replay. It was late and it was on top of his boot. A painful one for the Frenchman. But as yet, 3 yellow cards issued, 2 for Chelsea, 1 for Real Madrid in this tense first half, which Chelsea lead 1-0. 2-1 in aggregate. The tie is evenly poised still, in favour of Chelsea obviously at the moment, but it could go back to Real Madrid's way if they were to equalise. Chelsea on the attack though now with Chilwell, finding Werner, his pass cut out. Good skill from Modric, gets it out of harm's way, and Casemiro can play it forward. He's looking for Vinicius' pace again, but Chelsea have got that one covered with Rudiger tracking him every inch of the way, all the way back to his goalkeeper Mendy now, and pick it up. Edouard Mendy rolls it out to Thiago Silva. And then Jorginho, wall pass back to Christensen. Again, time for Conte to turn. They haven't got close enough to him yet. He's turned 1 or 2 times now and set Chelsea on their way. A bit of a pivot for Chelsea, Conte proving. Azpilicueta linking up the play on the right. Gets it back now from Havertz. And Chelsea go back to the halfway line. The security blanket of that defensive triumvirate, Rudiger. He plays it all the way back to Thiago Silva. Christensen makes an angle for him and receives it. And the Dane plays it back into Jorginho's feet. Careful passing from Chelsea. Rudiger again. Short to Mount on the half turn. Laid wide to Chilwell. Chilwell given a bit of a shove there by Vinicius, but he managed to retain possession. However, the referee had given the free kick already to Chelsea, when possibly the Blues wanted to play on there. Vinicius had been moved out of the way. Daniele Orsato had blown his whistle though, so he didn't have many options there. Chelsea played the free kick into midfield. Conte having a good game, the Frenchman. Finds Jorginho, lofted pass in the direction of Chilwell, takes it on the chest by the corner flag, but he's facing away from goal, turns back inside, trying to get away from Vinicius, and he wins a corner, I think. The first corner of the game. No, it's gone against Chelsea and Chilwell, and it's gone for a goal kick for Real Madrid. It was one of those bang-bang challenges right by the corner flag, and the referee has seen it. The linesman must have seen it pretty well to have given it in favour of Real Madrid. Back to Courtois. And now Militao. He jogs it forward before he's engaged by Chelsea players. Sends a long high ball in the direction of Vinicius. He's going to chase that one towards the corner flag, but it's skipped on off the turf and gone out for a throw. Zidane wants his team to get up the pitch now and pressurise Chelsea in their own half. Tuchel seems to be motioning to the bench as if he's got some kind of tactical plan for maybe a substitution, but with his team 1-0 up on the night, 2 on an aggregate, I don't think he'll be making that change just yet, but I'm sure he's got options to come on. Olivier Giroud if he needs to chase the game. Callum Hudson-Odoi if he needs to pep things up in attack maybe. And Hakim Ziyech, of course, you'd think might be towards the forefront of his thoughts this evening as well. Militao takes on Mount and then works it back infield. Chelsea have seized upon it though and have a chance to move it forward through Conte. Conte looking for Mount again, running free down the left hand side towards the penalty area. He goes. Mount back onto his right foot. Is he going to try the shot? It goes towards the near post, takes a deflection, and then it's volleyed over the bar. In fact, it lands on the line where it's stopped by Courtois. Miss kick from Timo Werner, but lovely driving play from Chelsea again, and Mason Mount couldn't quite get the shot cleanly away. Ball bounced up towards Werner, who then hooked it towards goal, but it was a tame one and easily saved by Courtois. So we are approaching half-time now at Stamford Bridge. Last couple of minutes of the first half. There might be a minute or so of stoppage time to add on. Vinicius has it right-hand side. Chilwell is goal side on this occasion. It goes back towards Modric. Now finding Kroos. Kroos with a shooting opportunity here. 20 yards out. Goes wide to Mendy. Into Benzema's feet. Back to Mendy. Benzema again. Edge of the penalty area. Linking up with advancing Nacho. Leaves it. Nacho tries to get on the end of it, but Mendy, that is the Edouard Mendy in goal for Chelsea, knocks it clear to the halfway line. And Chelsea try and pick up possession again, but it's gone out for a throw in to Real Madrid. One or two of the Blues players puffing really hard. They've been given a real workout chasing the ball and chasing Real Madrid players in this first half, but they've held firm. They have that clean sheet at the moment, and well, they knew that tonight if they kept a clean sheet they would go through to the Champions League final in Istanbul to face Manchester City. That's all they need, the clean sheet, but a goal has been a welcome bonus really. It means that Real Madrid now need to score 2 tonight to knock Chelsea out, or possibly on penalties it might go if it finishes 1-1 after 90 minutes in extra time. It's Real Madrid now with Kroos sending it wide to the right hand side for Vinicius. Vinicius comes in field. Vinicius driving away from Chilwell. Good pace, good feet. Goes down 25 yards out, but a clean challenge, said the referee, by Thiago Silva. And Rudiger knocks it forward before Militao gets the 50-50 duel won with Mason Mount. Then Vinicius goes down again looking for a free kick, and he's got it this time for a foul right by the right touchline. With Kroos placing the ball to take it. We're into the final minutes of the first 45. And Chelsea with the advantage on aggregate and tonight. Can Real Madrid strike back before halfway line? Here's Benzema trying to dribble the ball towards the edge of the penalty area. Works it wide to Hazard, who's gone quiet and he's given it away there to Chelsea. Knock it forward into the space for Havertz. Werner is keeping up with him stride for stride. Havertz advances towards the penalty area. Havertz onto his left foot. Can he chip it past the keeper? No. Good challenge from Ramos. Shut the door on him and it goes behind for a Chelsea corner. And that might be Chelsea's first corner of the first half, but a lovely bit of stretching play from Havertz to pick the ball up inside his own half and win a corner with some strong running and nice footwork. So this might be the last action of the first half when the corner's taken. The referee has indicated a minimum of, well, he's actually indicated no added time, so there isn't time to take the corner, which Chelsea will be slightly disappointed about, but they'll be happy with the scoreline because at half-time at Stamford Bridge it is Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge in the Champions League semi-final second leg. It is Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and a goal from, of all people, Timo Werner has put Chelsea 1-0 up. A simple tap-in header from a yard out after a lovely play from N'Golo Kanté released Kai Havertz, and his chip over Courtois came back off the woodwork for Werner to finish off. That came moments after Karim Benzema had been denied by a brilliant left-handed stop from Edouard Mendy from a shot on the edge of the penalty area, and Mendy again denied Benzema moments later from a header from a few yards out. Chelsea have been marginally the better side, but Real Madrid still offer some kind of threat, and at half-time it is Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. A tap-in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Kanté, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. A tap-in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Kanté, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. A tap-in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Kanté, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. A tap-in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Kanté, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. A tap-in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Kanté, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. A tap-in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Kanté, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. A tap-in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. A tap-in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. A tap-in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. A tap-in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. A tap-in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. A tap-in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. A tap-in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. A tap-in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. A tap-in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. A tap-in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. Tap in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. Tap in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. Tap in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. Tap in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. Tap in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. Tap in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. Tap in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. Tap in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. Tap in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. Tap in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. Tap in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. Tap in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. Tap in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. Tap in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. Tap in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. Tap in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. Tap in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea going forward to the Champions League final as it stands 2-1 on aggregate. The only goal of the half scored by, of all people, Timo Werner. Tap in from half a yard out with his head after an effort from Kai Havertz to come back off the woodwork, set up by N'Golo Conte, but that came moments after Edouard Mendy had produced a brilliant left-handed save to deny Karim Benzema, and Benzema again denied with a header from a few yards out by the keeper moments after the goal. Chelsea have been just about on top in this one at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Real Madrid. And very well, welcome back to Off-Tube studio-based commentary on this Champions League semi-final second leg. It is Chelsea with the advantage at half-time. I guess three-quarter time across the two games. They lead 1-0 through Timo Werner's 28th minute goal and 2-1 on aggregate. Real Madrid, though, with work to do and frustration already boiling over as Nacho is penalised for a foul on the halfway line. Looks like no changes made by either manager at half-time, but I'm sure tactical decisions about to be made by Thomas Tuchel and Zinedine Zidane. Long ball forward, seeking out Werner is too strong and goes all the way through to the Blues keeper, Courtois. Thibaut Courtois, who of course left Chelsea in search of more illustrious European adventures. And well, thus far, he's not been able to really... he's won one La Liga title, basically. He's not won the Champions League with Real Madrid. As Chelsea look to knock a couple of their old boys out of the Champions League tonight. Eden Hazard started, has flitted in and out the game, has tried to impact it. Best he's done really is to draw a foul and a yellow card for one of the Blues midfielders. I think it was Jorginho. Conte has it now. Plays it square to Havertz. And then here comes Christensen up from the back. Wide to Azpilicueta. Crossing opportunity for the Spaniard. Lifted in towards the penalty area. Heading towards goals off the crossbar from Havertz. He's hit the woodwork. That's a very incisive move from Chelsea again. Picking up in midfield, getting it wide. Havertz beat Militao in the air and it's come off the top of the woodwork and gone over the bar behind for a goal kick. Courtois at full stretch wouldn't have kept it out. But Havertz unable to convert, although it was a strong header. It's not his strong suit either. Havertz in the air, he's tall, but he's not known for his heading ability. He's useful, but he's not exactly the Birdman of Stamford Bridge, is he? But on that occasion, he rose the highest. But his header hit the woodwork and went over. Real Madrid giving a bit of a let-off there. Have it now with Militao. He was the one beaten in the air. Lovely cross from Azpilicueta. Chelsea win it back on the halfway line again as Real Madrid look a little bit rusty at the start of the second half. Havertz, nice nutmeg on Kroos, his compatriot, and then plays it back to Conte. You can see the confidence is really oozing through some of these younger Chelsea players now, as well as the old heads like Conte and Thiago Silva, who've not put a foot wrong throughout the 90 minutes, but now you're seeing the likes of Havertz also, and Chilwell, who's had a pretty decent game as well, begin to really flourish. Mount's been a little bit quieter than usual. He's had a very good season though, hasn't he? And you wouldn't argue with him having a big role to play in the Champions League final against Phil Foden-led Manchester City side, two of the new breed of English players who've come through the academy system, and the brightest prospects that Man City and Chelsea have to offer, and they could be up against each other in about a month's time as Vinicius is penalised for a foul on Chilwell on the far side. They've had a real ding-dong battle all night, those two. A couple of young tyros going at it, and Chilwell has managed to keep Vinicius quiet enough so far. Ball forward from Chelsea is dealt with by the Real defence. Humped in the air. It's headed infield by Azpilicueta. Havertz coming off the front, gathers it briefly. Casemiro takes over. Kroos plays it back now to Nacho, and Mendy, who's, I don't think he's played a forward pass all night. It's either been sideways or backwards from him. But he's gone into midfield now, so this might be a slight wrinkle from Zidane to try and get Mendy into the game, maybe playing him more as a midfielder. But he has gone back to his winged back position as Kroos takes it over and plays it back to Ramos. I guess the problem with doing that for Zidane would be, why would you disrupt a very experienced and tight-knit midfield trio and bring another body in there when perhaps you want to have a bit more space to create. Ball over the top, looking for Benzema, is headed away by Thiago Silva. Conte plays it safely back to Christensen. He goes wide to Azpilicueta, then fed into the feet of Jorginho. Rudiger, that's a nice ball to switch the angle of attack out to the left-hand side, and there's a real chance to raid here for Ben Chilwell. Chilwell to the edge of the penalty area. Chilwell crosses towards the far post, headed away just by Nacho with Havertz lurking behind him, but Havertz has won it back, and he finds Azpilicueta. Corner of the penalty area, right side. Havertz again, playing that false nine role tonight, but doing it so much better than he has done in previous games. Of course, those goals he scored against Fulham probably giving him the confidence boost for this one, and he almost got the opening goal, didn't he, before the ball came back off the woodwork. In fact, he's hit the woodwork in both halves now, hasn't he? But the first one did at least lead to his teammate Werner with an easy tap in to make it 1-0. Chelsea again with Chilwell down the left rather. He's fouled by Real Madrid counterparts, Vinicius, and that's going to be a free kick to Chelsea now, edge of the penalty area. So they made a good start to the second half now, Tuchel's men. They try to take an iron grip on this second leg. Home advantage, although there's no fans in the ground. I guess the advantage being that they got the away goal in the first leg in Madrid, which is putting them through so far. Rudiger's gone up for the free kick. Now he makes a run towards the far post. Chilwell's going to take it and cross it in from the left-hand side. once the referee's blown his whistle. The young England defender who's managed to make that position his own. Puts it into the penalty area, headed over the bar by Rudiger, who went near post. So initially he went far post, then he darted back into the near, but the header goes over the bar. Replay suggests it might have been Thiago Silva rather than Rudiger, who was just behind him, and it was the Brazilian who got the header in, but couldn't keep it down. Over the bar it went. And it still remains Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. And Los Blancos knock it away through Courtois. Hazard backing in, can't beat Jorginho with a header, and Werner can't gather it. It's knocked away by Casemiro, laid off by Vinicius to Modric. Modric tries a defence splitter out towards Mendy, but he looks rather stiff as he tried to receive it, and it comes off his boot and goes out for a throw. Modric doesn't look too pleased about that as he jogs over to try and put some pressure on Chelsea for this throw in, yet to be taken by Azpilicueta, the experienced and dependable right-sided defender, signed all those years ago, wasn't he, from I think Marseille. I think Rafa Benitez really gave him his chance, although I don't think Benitez actually signed him. I think it was during Benitez's short-lived and rather successful sort of caretaker tenure that Azpilicueta really started to show what he could do to the Chelsea faithful. And it comes off Mendy now for a throw-in. Some substitutes warming up now for Real Madrid, include Marco Asensio. And I couldn't quite tell you who the other ones were there. So still a throw-in to Chelsea, but this is now inside the Real Madrid half. Azpilicueta takes it towards Havertz, flicks it forward, then back it goes to Mount. Mount drives forward on his right foot. Can he finish? Mason Mount, brilliant save by Courtois, and the ball goes behind for a goal kick. It took a double deflection, I think, back off Mount and then behind for the goal kick. But a great chance, well worked by Chelsea, off the cuff football. A couple of flicks there. Werner flicking it back towards Mount. Mount striking, and then it took that deflection to go behind for a goal kick. As Courtois closed out the light at the near post there. There's a handball there from Azpilicueta, which the referee has spotted. It should be a free kick to Real Madrid now. In fact, just seeing a replay of that Mason Mount effort, and it wasn't saved. It was just struck too high over the bar by the Englishman when he should have got it on target. Lovely play by Chelsea, but the finish wasn't there from Mason Mount. Real Madrid, can they make them pay? Come down the right now with Militao, who's gone down holding his face. Referee has called a halt to proceedings as Militao gets back to his feet. The referee, I don't think, is going to issue anything more than just a free kick here for an accidental swinging arm from Chilwell. Militao wanting to make a bit of a meal of that one, though. And Chilwell escapes any further sanction, but the free kick's been taken by Real. Kroos works it over towards Mendy. Again, he's got no option to play it forward. Goes back to the halfway line and Nacho. Then it's a little leave there by Hazard onto Benzema. Benzema was offside, so that will be that. So Chelsea come down the left now. They lead 1-0 through Timo Werner's 28th minute goal. Rudiger trying to pass into the penalty area, but it doesn't reach its intended target. Real Madrid smuggle it away. And Modric, who's been all over the pitch tonight, real example to some of his younger teammates, knocks it back to Militao. And Rudiger knocks it out for a throw. The man in the mask, the big German defender, he's having a good game tonight. He tested Courtois with a swerving, dipping effort from about 30 yards out a few minutes into the game. And he's tried to join the attack whenever he can, coming out of that defensive position, left side of the back three. Ball goes out on the far side for a Chelsea throw now, with the Champions League advertising all round the ground and the seats covered by Chelsea banners and logos. It's such a shame that Well, the Chelsea faithful, the Blues faithful could witness this one in person, but they'll be hoping to get a few fans out to Istanbul for the final if they can see it through the next 35 minutes in this second leg. They lead 2-1 in aggregate, and good closing down from the Blues have prevented Real Madrid from getting out of their own defensive third. Reece James, Christian Pulisic warming up now. A couple of substitutes that might be required to come on and provide some extra bursts of energy as they defend this lead. Throw-in taken by Azpilicueta. It's over the head of intended target Mount. Ramos sweeps up, knocks it back to his keeper. Courtois takes a touch, moves it back to the left and then bangs it long over the halfway line. One for Benzema and Hazard to chase. It's headed away by Thiago Silva. Azpilicueta, square ball inside to Rudiger. Safe as houses, wide to Chilwell. First time right-footed ball up towards the front three. Headed away by Militao. Gets it back now from a wall pass by Casemiro. Now Ramos. Casemiro first time in towards Benzema's chest. Good turn, good control from the Frenchman. He's challenged there by Rudiger. The ball bounces the way of Modric. Knocks it back to Ramos once more. Foot on the ball, taking his time, looking for the option, but Modric, the only one he had, played it back then to Militao and Nacho and Kroos over the halfway line. Feet of Mendy. Back it goes towards Kroos. Kroos trying to thread one through. It's a good run here from midfield by Casemiro, but he didn't have the pace, and Rudiger closed the door. It was a lovely move and a very nice pass from Kroos, but Casemiro just lacked the pace to burst through into the gap that was created there, and Rudiger able to knock it away for a throw, which Real Madrid have taken. They try and press here for the equalising goal. A little thread through there by Mendy back to Hazard, and then it's gone wide to the right hand side for Vinicius. Vinicius tries to get a cross in, lays it back to the edge of the box. It goes in from Casemiro towards the far post, too close to Mendy, who's off his line together, and he's having a great game. Edouard Mendy must be absolutely buzzing. The two big saves he made in the first half, both to deny Karim Benzema, will go a long way, I'm sure, to seeing Chelsea through to the Champions League final if they can win this game 1-0. He might have a few more saves left in him as the ball's out for a Real Madrid throw far side inside the Chelsea half. They go back, all the way back to Courtois. Chelsea trying to keep the energy levels high, trying to press, not drop off and allow Real Madrid's talented ball players to really pick them apart. Kroos is trying to do so on a couple of occasions off the left of that three in midfield. And drifted ball out to the right hand side where it's gone back to Courtois again. He's now outside his penalty area playing like a sweeper as he moves it back to Ramos. Ramos's ball towards Hazard, laid off there Benzema. Hazard trying to put pressure on Rudiger, who almost miscontrolled it, but he gets away with it. It comes clear now to Jorginho, threading through. Big chance here for Real Madrid. They're through on goal. Kai Havertz to make it 2-0, saved by Courtois' feet. Kai Havertz could have killed it there. There was a gaping hole in the middle of the Real Madrid defence, but Thibaut Courtois was able to somehow plug it as the ball was threaded through to Havertz. On his left foot, he tried to side foot it beyond the keeper, and the Belgian's outstretched left boot, or right boot actually as it was, has knocked it away and kept Real Madrid in this tie. Kroos, they're taking a few risks now, Real Madrid, to try and get this equalising goal, but Chelsea almost capitalising there with a ball through the middle by Jorginho. And Havertz, perhaps he should have been a bit more decisive with his finish. Maybe gone for power rather than just trying to stroke it, or even chipped Courtois as he did for the goal which Chelsea did score when it came back to Werner. Here come Real Madrid though down the left hand side with Mendy. Mendy still doesn't put the cross in, goes back to Benzema, works short for a 1-2 with Kroos, volleyed clear by Thiago Silva up to the halfway line, and Militao's missed it, but Werner fouled him, so it's going to be a free kick to Real Madrid, and we'll come up to the hour mark in this one. So about an hour gone at Stamford Bridge, and it's still Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0 in the second leg of this Champions League semi-final, but two big chances for Chelsea to kill the game dead, and they've both been missed by Kai Havertz, the player who helped set up the opening goal for Timo Werner in the first half. Was given a great chance when a cross came in from Azpilicueta. He headed against the woodwork and it went over the bar. That was about 5 minutes into the second half. A follow-up chance there for Mason Mount after good work from Havertz, and Werner was then wasted as he struck it over the bar from a tight angle. And then the best of them, Jorginho's threaded ball through the middle as Real Madrid got caught upfield, and Havertz threw on goal down the centre of the pitch, trying to draw Courtois, but Courtois stood firm and saved with his legs to deny Havertz what could have been 2-0 on the night and 3-1 on aggregate, but it remains in the balance. Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. And it's now Real Madrid on the attack, crossing in towards the penalty area, headed clear by Christensen and smacked away by Chilwell over the halfway line. And can Real Madrid somehow find a route back into this game? An equaliser now might see them gather some momentum, but they are just starting to look a little bit leggy. About half an hour remains. There will be some extra time and penalties if the score finishes 1-1 tonight. Nacho in shot. Is he going to pick up a yellow card for a foul? I think he is. That was a foul moments ago on Azpilicueta. On Havertz rather, by Nacho. High and late, and certainly the equal of one or two yellow cards that have gone to Chelsea players. And actually Havertz reacted to it as well and kicked out a little bit at Nacho, so there's a bit of argy-bargy there. The referee's had to calm down. The last thing that Havertz would want, having already got a yellow card, is to be sent off and then miss the Champions League final. Nacho got the yellow, and this could be a good moment to substitute Kai Havertz, to be honest. Fede Valverde is coming on for Real Madrid. First of a double switch here. Vinicius Junior goes off, and Marco Asensio comes on. So Asensio and Valverde were the two players warming up moments ago. Valverde is on in midfield, and Asensio is on the right. Well, actually, he's coming on the left, so there'll be a bit of a shuffle round here as Hazard goes to the left. Anyway, the ball from the free kick by Chelsea straight through to Courtois. And Real Madrid play it back now to the Belgian from the free kick. He goes into midfield for Casemiro. And now Kroos. He's got a bit more pace in front of him now with Asensio. It's gone to the young Canarian, who plays it down the line to Nacho. Nacho back heels it to Asensio, stayed onside. Tight area. Asensio's skill almost, in fact, I think he's Mallorcan, isn't he, rather than Canarian, Marco Asensio, but either way it's going to be a throw in to Real Madrid. Throw in taken and played back to Kroos. Real Madrid down the right come now with one of their replacements. Who has it again? Goes back as Fede Valverde goes back to Ramos. Now Asensio, 25 yards out. He's got Nacho offering some support down the right. Gets it back to Asensio. Chance to cross here. Puts in a high ball towards the back post. Headed clear by Rudiger. Valverde will chase down by the corner flag and keep it in. Valverde feints to cross the Uruguayan. Plays it into Hazard inside the penalty area. Hazard low ball into the near post. Smacked away. Comes back on the edge of the box and a shot goes wide. Took a deflection though by Hazard, and it is a corner. Hazard's surprise shot from a tight angle was saved by Mendy's knees, and it came back to the edge, and Casemiro's effort was the one that was knocked behind for the corner. But Chelsea up against it now as Real Madrid go for the jugular. They've got 5 up for this corner, which is whipped in by Kroos at the near post, but headed clear by Kai Havertz. Kroos then plays it back to a teammate. Hazard, I think, wins a foul, and it's Timo Werner who's penalised, so it's a Real Madrid free kick rather. 65 minutes gone now, and this is a big push for Real Madrid to try and get back into the tie. They trailed in the first leg, they've trailed in the second leg, but they're really pushing for it now. So Kroos will take the free kick, bent in towards the near post again. He doesn't beat the first man. It's headed away by Chelsea. And Chelsea might pick up the rebound as well. Good footwork from Werner, and he's burst clear. And Werner from the halfway line has got 3-on-2 here, Chelsea. Can Werner use it or go for it himself? He plays it square to N'Golo Kante. Kante to finish. Brilliantly saved by Courtois again. They've missed another golden chance, Chelsea. This time it's Courtois who denies Kante. And it remains 1-0. Real Madrid taking big risks at the back. And they were outnumbered 3-on-2 on that last counter-attack. But again, Chelsea couldn't make it pay. Can Real Madrid get something going at the other end now? 25 minutes to go. Kroos finding Asensio. Back from Hazard. Into Benzema's feet. Laid off to Kroos once more. Here's Ramos sweeping it wide to the right now. And Valverde, he's come on as a sort of orthodox right wing back then. Asensio's gone to the left. Mendy went off, as we know, Ferland Mendy, who'd done nothing really all night. And now Hazard has almost lost it on the halfway line, but well recovered by Ramos' sliding challenge. Eder Militao finding Modric inside the centre circle. Then a pass towards Kroos, which invites him to move forward. He does, and then lays it back to Modric. Care on the passing here from Real Madrid. Asensio bangs it into the face of Havertz, though it bounces the way of Azpilicueta. It's trying to feed it down the line. It's come off Modric's boot for a Chelsea throw. What a chance for N'Golo Kanté a minute and a half ago. Werner did everything right, really, and laid it off to Kanté. He had time to settle himself before trying to stroke it beyond Courtois. And the Belgian again equal to it with a big save. Tuchel kicking the hoardings in frustration that his team couldn't take that opportunity. He's going to make a change now and take off Timo Werner and bring on Christian Pulisic with 24 minutes to go. Chelsea's first change. Maybe this tactical tweak to counteract the double switch by Zidane of a few minutes ago. Pulisic, who got the goal in the first leg, replaces Werner, who got the goal in the second leg. It's 1-0 on the night, 2-1 on aggregate to Chelsea. They are 20-odd minutes away from making their second ever Champions League final. Of course, 2012 winners in the Lions Den in Munich against Bayern on penalties. Didier Drogba, of course, with the winning spot kick and the celebrations that ensued. It will be a Real Madrid throw now from the left-back slot inside the visitors' half. They've been giving as good as they've got in the last few minutes. They've really pushed on, but they've left spaces in behind, which Chelsea have been able to exploit, or tried to exploit, I should say. And you get the feeling that this tie will be sorted out in the next 10 minutes or so, really. Either Chelsea get that second goal to virtually kill it off, or Real Madrid are able to equalise, and the cat is among the pigeons, so to speak. Here come Chelsea again, though, with Kanté. Kanté, who missed that great chance moments ago. Plays it wide to the left for Chilwell. 4 in the box to aim for. Knocks it back to Kanté instead, though. Getting a bit defensive now, or maybe a little bit negative in some of their passing, Chelsea. They can't let that creep into their game. Thinking about managing the clock rather than going for the second goal, but they've had chances on the counter. Rudiger trying to pass it forward. Knocked away by Valverde, playing as almost an auxiliary right back. He then sends a long ball up towards Benzema, who's made a good run, but the pass doesn't reach him, and it's out for a Chelsea throw. Real Madrid starting to lose a little bit of belief? I don't think so. Players of that level of experience and mentality simply won't lose belief when they're only 1 goal down on aggregate. As Chelsea take the throw, it's played in towards Mason Mount, flicks it forward. Havertz can't take it, banged away by Ramos, who's claiming a high boot from the German, and he's got the decision. He might have even got an offside decision there, actually, against Kai Havertz. He's got to be careful, the German, because if that was deemed a high boot, then he's probably already been close to a second yellow card on a couple of occasions in this match. Hazard's lost it inside his own half. It remains Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. And a counter-attack here for Real Madrid as they find Benzema. Chelsea have a chance now to move it clear with his Christian Pulisic on the edge of the penalty area, out to the right-hand side, puts a cross in, and it's too close to the keeper. Too close to the keeper. Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Game really opening up now in the last few minutes. Laid off back to Militao. And now Modric. Wide it goes to Karim Benzema. Square on the halfway line. Ball over the top, looking for the run here of Hazard. Is knocked away by the Chelsea defence and then banged away by Mendy. Made such big saves in this game. Comes off Chelsea player though, Pulisic, and goes out for a Real Madrid throw. So can Real Madrid somehow drag themselves back into this tie? They are going for it now with the attacking changes that Zidane has made. Chelsea trying to just hold firm and offer something on the counter-attack. We've seen a lunge there by Kroos on Pulisic, which is going to earn the German a booking. The referee has now chalked up quite a few yellow cards tonight, and that's another one for a Real Madrid player. Kroos just a little bit eager to win that ball. A slight challenge on the halfway line, which results in a free kick to Chelsea. And again, delays overtaking it, which Zidane's not happy about. Eventually Christensen bangs it forward onto the chest of Pulisic, who's trying to beaver away by the corner flag. He wriggles away, tries to win a corner, and the referee says goal kick. Nacho did enough there to shepherd him. Well, actually, the referee has given the corner, I beg your pardon, so it will be Chelsea still on the attack. Good work from the former Borussia Dortmund man. He would have played under Thomas Tuchel, wouldn't he, at the Westfalen Stadium. And he's won a corner from which Chelsea might be able to fashion out another opportunity. To be taken by Mason Mount. The Englishman sends a right-footed in-swinger, away swinger into the near post, and it's headed down and wide by Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva, the Brazilian, got the first header in at the near post. Well-timed run, didn't quite get the contact he wanted, and it goes wide of target. Real Madrid then running out of time now as we enter the final 17 minutes to rescue their Champions League campaign. Looking to reach their 17th Champions League or European Cup final, but they might have to wait another year. Chelsea just looking to reach their second, have got the advantage, and Modric moves it out to the right for Eder, Militao, then Valverde swapping passes with Casemiro. Valverde running into space down the right-hand side, then stopped as Chilwell gets goal side of him. Back now to Casemiro, dwelling on the ball. Threading the ball through though, looking for Hazard to stay on his feet. He's been knocked off his feet by Thiago Silva, just too strong for him. And Chelsea clear. Jorginho back to Rudiger, who's closed down quickly. It's come back off the Real man Casemiro though for a Chelsea throw. And oh wow, it's still only 1-0. It could still go either way. I think I wrongly said that Courtois had denied Conte in this second half, and actually it was a defender lunging in front of the keeper which made this sort of effectively stopped it, the Conte shot. Ball is now passed back to Courtois, who sends a long ball forward off the outside of his boot though, and it goes straight out for a Chelsea throw. Real are going to make their third change now with the young Brazilian Rodrigo about to come on for the final 15 minutes. So some more Brazilian flair coming onto the pitch for Real Madrid. They'll have to go for it now as time is ticking away. This is Ramos who knocks it clear, and then it goes back to the keeper Courtois, who can pick this one up. I think it must have been headed back to him. Entering the final 15 minutes at Stamford Bridge in a tense Champions League semi-final second leg. Place in the final against Manchester City in Istanbul is at stake, and Chelsea have it within their grasp at the moment. Real Madrid playing it closely from the back, and then almost a mistake there by Modric, which gives Chelsea a chance to win a corner, but they play it back and then win a throw in the end. Jorginho battling hard for every yard of space in that midfield area, so Zidane can now make his third change, and this will be Rodrigo on for Casemiro, so a Brazilian for another, but a more attacking move this by the French coach, going in search of the equaliser. Rodrigo on, so this is pretty much all his forward power on the pitch at one time now. as Chelsea play it back to the halfway line. Andreas Christensen into the feet of Pulisic, laid off back to the Dane. Pulisic again, finding half a yard. Down the line he goes, looking for Azpilicueta. Turns it back to Pulisic, who's now broken through to the edge of the penalty area. Pulisic onto his right foot, trying to find a cross towards the near post. Oh, it's just got away from a lunging Mount at the back post. He could have converted from a couple of yards out, but he couldn't stretch out to get it. Mount again in the penalty area, loses out to Modric, who comes away with the ball and tries to thread it through to Benzema. First time layoff, might reach the speedy Rodrigo out on that far side. He plays a long ball forward looking for Asensio, but quickly back in position. Thiago Silva's not missed a trick tonight, and he heads it away, and Chelsea are back in possession. Coming forward with Jorginho to Havertz, laid off back to the Brazilian Italian, and now once more with Chelsea out to the right now for Azpilicueta, furthest forward in blue to the edge of the penalty area. Can he find a killer pass? There's a good run there by Pulisic. Pulisic again holds it up, tries a little trick there, he's lost out. Eventually it goes back to Courtois, who can pick it up. And it's getting increasingly desperate for Real Madrid now. They come forward with Hazard, who's played a bit longer than many thought he could, really, going into the 77th minute of this game, but he's trying his best to ignite the Real Madrid spark. A big signing of a couple of years ago from Chelsea. Hasn't really got much going for himself since he moved there. Long shot from range is deflected away to safety as far as Chelsea are concerned, and Azpilicueta completes the clearance out for a throw. It's really high intensity stuff here, and a few Chelsea players are feeling the pace a little bit. Tuchel has already pointed at Reece James to get ready, so it might be him on for Azpilicueta soon. Real Madrid come forward again with Nacho. Nacho trying to knock it inside to Benzema, who can't stretch and control, and it's going to fall to Mendy, who can pick it up inside his penalty area. Mendy happy to collect and jog across his box as he rolls one out eventually to N'Golo Kanté, former Leicester man, finding Pulisic, who knocks it wide to Azpilicueta. He's got a shove there from Asensio right under the referee's nose, and Tuchel as well is magnifying the foul there with his actions to the referee. It's a free kick to Chelsea. Pretty daft that from Marco Asensio. But Azpilicueta played a lovely part in that last decisive attack for Chelsea, which was almost resulting in a goal when Pulisic crossed towards Mount. Real Madrid get it back to Courtois, who sends a long ball towards the halfway line. Benzema back it in, great first touch. Look to chop it back once more, and Kanté, or was it Jorginho who was the barrier there, stops his progress, and Chelsea clear. Again, Militao wins the header over one of the Chelsea forwards, and it falls to Kroos. Then wide to Valverde. Back it goes to Eder Militao. Now Modric. Modric's forward pass to Benzema again. He's got a great first touch, silky, and we just haven't seen him really in that key final third with a sight of goal in this second half. We have in the first half, and he was denied twice by Edouard Mendy. Will it be the case again if they can get him into a position once more? We're into the final 10 minutes now, with Real Madrid in full cry on the attack with Nacho. 30 yards out, back to Valverde. Square to Nacho again. Now Asensio, and Hazard actually it is, who's popped up on the left. Goes back to the halfway line, and Kroos slides it across to Eder Militao. He's got one option, it's right, and it's there with Rodrigo. Back to Luka Modric. Nice footwork from the Croatian. Chelsea getting quickly back. Modric trying to play it forward. Smacked away by Thiago Silva. Anywhere will do. Up to the front players. Good play by Havertz, who holds it up in front of Ramos, but he's going down a bit of a blind alley. No support there for Kai Havertz. He's going to have to do it all himself. He turns inside. Still going here. Kai Havertz, though, trying to set up a chance for N'Golo Kanté. Will he have a pop? Goes back towards Pulisic, whose cross shot is wide of target and behind for a goal kick. Well, Pulisic made a nice run there in the penalty area, but he struck it first time, and perhaps he could have taken a touch. And the first time strike was eventually 6 yards wide of the far post. So we're now into the final 10 minutes at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea lead 1-0, 2-1 in aggregate. Real Madrid giving it absolutely everything to get back into this tie. Have it now with Nacho. Then on the halfway line it's Hazard. Hazard tries to take on N'Golo Kanté, but Kanté too strong in the tackle and now works it away to Pulisic, who's got space to run into. He looks up, he sees Havertz ahead of him, he sees Mount also making tracks out to that left hand side, but the pass was well read by Modric, who snapped it up and found Asensio. Like a basketball game, isn't it? Will you have an attack? We'll have an attack, and then there's a foul on Hazard by Azpilicueta. Could this be the moment now to make that change by Thomas Tuchel? Well, Real Madrid won't allow him to because they've taken the free kick quickly. And it's with Modric, who plays it out wide to the right for Eder Militao. And now it goes into Modric's feet. Ramos to Kroos. Former Bayern Munich man finding Nacho on the left. Trying to work a 1-2 there with Asensio, but Azpilicueta shut the door. Goes out for a throw. To be taken by the substitute. Asensio lobs it back in towards Kroos. Chelsea keeping Real at arm's length for the time being. Can they maintain that one-goal advantage? Kroos in the centre circle, trying to thread it through on the half turn. Here's Hazard, poking it wide to Asensio. Things opening up now. Asensio shifts it, tries to get across him, but blocked by Azpilicueta out for a throw. Throw in which Asensio will probably take himself. And no, he's going to leave this one for Nacho. Nacho had a horrendous injury that kept him out of one of the Champions League finals that Real Madrid won. Puts a cross in from that side towards the far post, and rising tallest there was Rudiger, who got it away. Chelsea try and break now with Mount playing it forward towards Havertz. Ramos wins the header, finds Militao, plays it back inside to Ramos. Havertz slow to get up, but he's now on his feet again as Ramos passes the ball almost straight out of play, but Asensio keeps it in. Gets it back now from Nacho. Finds his defensive teammate once more. Here's Kroos. Kroos looking for a ball out towards that right hand side and does get it out there towards Fede Valverde. The Uruguayan holds it up, waits for the support. It's Kroos again who's come nearest to him. And it goes back again to the halfway line, and Ramos wearing the skipper's armband. Kroos on the turn, wide again to Valverde. He's got a chance now to progress, plays a 1-2, gets it back to Kroos. Things starting to happen now for Real Madrid. They've got Nacho in support. Can he get a good ball in with his right foot towards the far post? Nobody made the move for him. It was a good ball. Nobody on the end of it, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Left-hand side, both right-footed balls. Rudiger won the first header, and nobody needed to get the second header in because No on it, headed forward by Real Madrid, knocked back into their half. Pulisic, the ever-willing runner, goes through, but Courtois off his line to gather. Rolls it out. They need to score now, Real Madrid. They need to score now. They need to score again. As Militao tries to bring it forward, finding Rodrigo. Asensio actually has gone over to the left. Chelsea all smiles on the bench. Tammy Abraham's joshing with his good friend Mason Mount as the cameras move back to the action on the pitch, and it's with Eder Militao now. Trying a bit of skill on the edge of the Chelsea box, doesn't come off for him, and the Blues clear, out for a Real throw. Taken quickly, and then crossed into the Chelsea area. Heads go up, away by Thiago Silva. He's not missed a thing tonight. Comes back to Benzema on the edge. Benzema squares it to Modric. Needs to shoot here. Some end product needs to come for Chelsea. Hit the referee. The referee blows the whistle as Benzema's pass hit him. And what's he going to give here? I think he's going to give a free kick to Real Madrid, but this is far too dangerous a position to be giving them a free kick. He's got an uncontested drop ball to Real, and they take it. Modric has it. Back to Kroos. He tries to line up a cross. He's overhit it there, and it's straight through to Mendy. And Edouard Mendy is a couple of minutes away from a really big clean sheet for him. And he tries to kick a long ball back towards that three-man forward line. Ziyech, who came on for Mount, has picked it up on the far side. Tries to knock it back to the edge of the box for Reece James. The two fresh legs combining. James trying to dribble through, gets brought down edge of the box. The referee says no foul as he collided with Real Madrid defender Nacho. And now Real bring it away. But Chelsea won it back. They can finish this now for sure and make it 3-0 on the night as they try and pick a way through with Ziyech. Instead he goes back towards the corner flag doing the professional thing, and Chelsea will wind the clock down now with their man in the corner position, which was Havertz. You can't win a throw. Tuchel's going to make another late double change here with Kurt Zouma and Olivier Giroud coming on, the French connection. Headed away towards Havertz on the edge of the box. Havertz now trying to set up a chance here for James. He's got to pull the trigger surely. Strikes low and it's wide, a couple of yards wide of Courtois, who tried to get down to field it. James will feel completely within his rights to have a strike there, but he just couldn't quite direct it on target, although it had plenty of power. Well, what a night this has been for Chelsea. What a season, second half of the season it's been for them. They're through to the FA Cup final at the expense of Manchester City. They'll face Manchester City in the Champions League final. They've just got to make sure they wrap up that top four position as well. I suppose there is one nagging doubt for them, which will be if they were to lose to Manchester City in the Champions League final and Arsenal were to surprise everyone and win the, I'll say surprise everyone, of course they'd have to get past Villarreal and Manchester United by the look of things, win the Europa League final, then no, Chelsea would still go through, wouldn't they? Because you'd have 5 teams in the Champions League, so that's not a threat. So Chelsea, I think, by virtue of this win, will assure themselves of a Champions League place for next season, regardless of the outcome of the. No, they won't, because they'd have to finish 4th. Of course, if they finish 5th, they would be out. And there is still a chance that West Ham could catch them, of course, mathematically, so they wouldn't assure anything. But they give themselves a real chance. There's a foul in the penalty area. It's got to be a penalty now. The referee waves it. Like Pulisic had been brought down, but it won't matter because the full-time whistle has gone anyway. And referee Daniel Orsato brings a curtain down on a very good night for Chelsea. Thiago Silva, immaculate at the back. N'Golo Conte, brilliant in midfield. Mason Mount and Timo Werner, the goal scorers up front, as Chelsea have made it through to the Champions League final, only their second ever Champions League final. They've knocked off the team who have been there more than any time, more than any other team in Real Madrid, but they won't be going there again this season. It's finished at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 2, Real Madrid 0. Chelsea go through to the Champions League final, 3-1 on aggregate. Thanks for joining us tonight. More action to come over the weekend.